very much a mainstream box. It says, here's the way it is. It's not a spiral path. It's a linear path. And it says, you will grow up, you will go to school, you will make good grades, you will play sports, or, be a cheerleader, or, you won't be gay, you won't be transgendered, you won't be too weird, and you have good teeth, or wear braces to get them, and you will dress appropriately, and you'll wear all the right labels of clothing and shoes, and you spend a lot of money to do those things. I'm not saying this is what you did, but I'm saying this is what the archetype is. All these things, and then at some point you'll graduate, and with honors, make everybody happy. You'll go to a good college, and you'll get into fraternity or sorority, and you'll go through college where your family went, or if your family didn't go to college, you'll make them proud because you go into college, those kinds of things. And you'll get a good degree, something that you, depending on your family, what they decide a good degree is, whether it's practical or whether it's Ivy League school, or you follow your doctor. Your father was a doctor, you're going to be a doctor. Your mother was a dentist, you're going to be a dentist. Whatever it might be, whatever it is, you're going to go become. My mom always wanted me to be a secretary or an X-ray technician. This is what we're supposed to do. We move on, and then of course we get married heterosexually, and we have. I like to say this, it's changed over the years. It used to be 2 children, now it's 1.8. I'm not sure how you have a 1.8 child, or 2, but that's what you get to have now. Everybody gets to have 1.8 children, and have 2 to 3 vehicles in their home. And it goes on. You know what I'm talking about. It goes on and goes on. And you work a certain period of time, and you work in your profession. You always stay in that profession, and you rise to the top of that profession, or business or whatever. And then at some point, you've saved up money, you've got retirement, you have all these things, you have all this stuff that's worked out. And I know it's true of everybody here so far, right? Everybody's done this, right? And then at this point, you retire. And then when you retire young because you've really put everything back the way you were supposed to, that kind of thing. Your kids have grown up with their perfect teeth, right? And their perfect relationships, and all those kind of things. You've probably got 2 or 3 wonderful, thriving grandchildren who are prodigies of some kind. And, you kind of prepare for death, but not really, because you're just going to kind of glow out in glory in some way. And you and maybe your heterosexual partner will just in an embrace when you're about 105, die one night, and go off into heaven because you've been so good. You're rewarded for being so good. That's the linear path, the kind of archetypal linear path. And anything less than that, you screwed up. You screwed up. If you're unhappy, if you're depressed, if you're anxious, if you're sad, if you don't have any shoes, if you quit school, if you got a cavity, I don't care what it is. You somehow screwed up. If you got a divorce, you screwed up. If you get sick too often, if you have an immune disorder, you screwed up. I don't care. If you're gay, you screwed up. If you're transgendered, you screwed up. This teaches people to stay in boxes. This teaches people to never let themselves go through change. There's another path that's much more user-friendly for spiritual beings having a human experience. And that is the spiral path. The spiral path is more compassionate. And it just plain makes sense. Inner shaman, if you will, walks a spiral path between heaven and earth, and all places in between, and individuates from society, individuates from cultural norms, individuates from families of origin. This is what Jesus meant when he said, your father's not your father, your mother's not your mother. Lay it all down, come and follow me. Every spiritual tradition has talked about that individuation. And Carl Jung talked about it in Jungian psychology. And in psychoanalysis, to individuate from our parents. To stand in the light of our own true being and our soul, an individuated soul. Now, I'm not talking about becoming antisocial, narcissistic, sociopathic, or psychopathic. Although you might get that projected onto you if you don't follow the sheep over the cliff.